Welcome inside my demo reel. Let's start with some stories that you would not have seen anywhere else but News 3 Now before running through some engaging live shots and finishing with some highlights. When Drake Baldwin made the Atlanta Braves big league roster,
being this close to home, it's special.
There was one series that he and many others in Madison had circled.
I had a bunch of other people circle the series as well and be like, hey, we're going to come watch you in Milwaukee. So it was definitely something I looked at pretty early in the year.
And to come full circle, his baseball journey brought him back to where it all began.
This is a stadium that I came to when I was younger to watch the Brewers. I was a Brewers fan growing up, so it's pretty special to come back and get to see a bunch of friends and family, and it's really cool to play here.
As the Braves starting catcher, with his family and friends in the same seats that he used to sit in.
Walking in with Sale before the game and just seeing all my family sitting behind the dugout and cheering me on, it's a feeling that I haven't really experienced yet, and it's a cool one.
Baldwin is the second Madison West alum ever to reach the major leagues, and it seems like he's gonna stick around.
You see those awards on social media growing up, and it's something you always kind of dream to achieve one day.
But for now, the reigning National League Rookie of the Month takes it a day at a time.
I mean, I said earlier, I said Culver's hits different in Wisconsin, so I'm going to try to get out there.
Savoring the little things when in Wisconsin. At American Family Field, Andrew Bandstra, News 3 Sports. For Liam and Lucy Moreno,
I make him proud and he makes me proud, and it's just kind of a full circle moment that we get to see each other ball out.
playing ball at the duck pond is a family affair.
Growing up, me and my sister would come to these games thinking like they were professional games. I honestly didn't know they were college games until I started playing here.
Liam is in his 5th season playing for the Mallards.
I get a sense of pride when I'm watching Liam, like whenever he does good, and just supporting him in all of his endeavors and everything. I even worked here last summer.
But this summer, Lucy isn't just watching Liam play. She's living out her own dream, playing for the Madison Nightmares.
It's really a great opportunity. Me and my brother get to share the same field and get to play in the same season, you know, live in the same house at the same time.
These same kids that grew up at Warner Park are now the first siblings to play for both the Mallards and the Nightmares.
Honestly, it's an honor because Northwoods is one of the highest levels of baseball in the summer, and the fact that we get to be playing in the same spot, same level together, it's pretty cool.
They're calling it the Summer of Moreno.
It's pretty special. I'm gonna try to ball out the best I can, and he's probably gonna do the same, and just, you know, have a great Moreno season.
But after all,
I look forward to continuing to watch her here because, like I said, I'm sure she'll come back, and hopefully I'll be in the stands rather than on the field next year.
it always was with these two on the diamond. In Madison, Andrew Bandstra, News 3 Sports. For everything that has gone wrong for Wisconsin football over the last 2 years, there have still been a couple of things that they've been able to hang their hat on, namely their bowl streak and their 10-game win streak over Nebraska. A loss in Lincoln today put the former in jeopardy and snapped the latter in half.
This is getting obviously old. I don't have any excuses. We didn't play well. We got to challenge ourselves. We're going to have to look real deep here in a short week and find out who's with us and who's willing to lay it all out on the line.
We've got our backs against the wall, and we've got postseason on the line, and further than that, we've got this axe on the line, which means the world to us, means the world to our state. And then it's the last chance for some of our seniors, and so I know myself and the rest of our guys are going to put everything into this week.
Trophy games do not come often. Iowa. We have this game, then we have Minnesota. These games are really, really important to us, and we haven't gone a long time without having some of those trophies in our room.
It sets up a battle for the axe that will be more like a war. Last year, Wisconsin denied Minnesota of that coveted 6th win, and this year, the Gophers will have a chance to return the favor. At Memorial Stadium, Andrew Bandstra, News 3 Sports. As you mentioned, that smell of brats, popcorn, and fresh-cut grass that's met with the optimism that this could be the year.
The Badgers haven't fired a football or basketball coach since they fired Stan Van Gundy in 1995.
That all changed with Paul Christ's departure. Now, they told me this is the only day of the year where they make scrambled eggs and brats. It's not an everyday thing other than maybe Christmas Day, which for them is basically the same as opening day. This year, they came to Indianapolis with a singular focus: win 4 games in 4 days and return to Madison as champions. And I can tell you from firsthand experience, these Packer fans around here, they certainly felt the same way. That moment was absolutely magical. Last year for Wisconsin, everything was brand new. I'm talking coaches, I'm talking playbook, you name it. But now the foundation has been set. The Badgers, Carter Gilmore told me, are already done celebrating, adding, winning 2 games is cool, but it means nothing without the trophy. The Badgers have touched down in Tampa and got their first practice in this morning here at Berkeley Prep School, just a few miles from Raymond James Stadium, where Wisconsin will tangle with the LSU Tigers in the ReliaQuest Bowl. If you fell asleep or turned off the TV when the Milwaukee Bucks were leading the Miami Heat by 16 points going into the 4th quarter, I hate to be the one to break you the bad news. Their season is over. Welcome to the Women's Frozen Four in New Hampshire. College hockey's biggest stage is nothing new for Wisconsin. When you look back at the history of the Seahawks and the Packers, one thing becomes abundantly clear. Home field advantage is everything. The home team has won the last 10 meetings between these two, but this isn't the Pack. The green and gold could still make the playoffs, but they'll need a whole lot of luck and not a single loss from here on out. The Pack certainly had their chances today, but as Matt LaFleur said, Tampa just whipped us. We weren't good enough. Making it to the playoffs in a do-or-die game after the start that this team had, I mean, could you write a better love story? But when asked how exciting it was for him, Jair Alexander said, what? We've got 3 or 4 more games left. That's what I'm excited for. At Lambeau Field, Andrew Bandstra, News 3 Sports. Disappointed American Family Field here tonight. When the Brewers took that 2-0 lead in the first, everything looked so good. In fact, Freddie Peralta had a no-hitter in the 5th inning, but then in a span of 5 batters, the Brewers went from leading 2-0 to trailing 3-2, and that's kind of when the energy started draining out. Packers of the past, and they made that known from the opening kickoff. First possession of the game, and the Pack pounced. And they did it by feeding who else but Josh Jacobs. He's been everything Green Bay has needed and more. A quick 7-0 lead, but they wanted to make a statement. Second time they touched the ball, same result. Romeo Doubs returning from injury and making his presence felt, and just like that, the Seahawks were dead in the water. The Pack win it. It's their 10th W. Jordan Love, he wasted no time putting the Pack in front, and it all starts with Josh Jacobs. This guy, he runs like he's jousting. Stiff arms the Honey Badger all the way into Lake Michigan, and it would set up this. Jordan Love scanning, looking, and firing a strike to Dontavian Wicks for the touchdown. Green Bay got on the board fast, but they wanted more in the second, and a good recipe for success is always a heavy dose of Jacobs. Josh to the house for his 6th straight game with a rushing touchdown, and the Packers win it 34-0, punching their ticket to the playoffs. If they beat Portage tonight, MHB will go undefeated in conference play for the 3rd straight year. Warriors looking to do something no other team has been able to do this season: slow down the Vikings, who outscored their opponents 224-50 this year. And all that success starts in the kitchen, because Owen Primesberger has been grilling defenders all year. The kid is USDA approved. He gets the first down, which sets up this. Primesberger walks into the end zone untouched. MHB takes a 7-0 lead, but he wasn't the only one cooking. Later in the first quarter, Portage on to punt, and look at Zach McGuire. Great name. He gets his mitts on the punt, scoops it up, and brings it back for the score. Mount Horeb wins it and their conference 53-12, the final. Wisconsin men's basketball played their 20th game of the season today, looking for their 16th win. The Badgers are 10-1 at the Kohl Center this year, where they hosted Nebraska, and the return of Connor Essegian to the Kohl Center. But first, his former team threw the first punch, and it was a haymaker. The Badgers started on a 19-2 scoring run, including this triple from John Blackwell, who finished with 14. The Badgers went 17 for 37 from downtown, but you knew CE0, we'll call him, was going to get his. Connor Essegian takes and makes his first shot back. He finished with 8 points, and his Huskers, they went on a run, but never got close enough. Later in the first, Jack Janicki, the walk-on freshman, He's not gonna. Oh, yes, he is. The Janicki Slamma-Jamma gets the people going. And in the second half, John Tonje had his dunking encore. Takes it right at Essegian and throws it down. Tonje had a game-high 27 points. And the only thing better than the Badgers' offense today was their defense. They held the Huskers to just 55 points, their second lowest scoring output this season. In college basketball, you are lucky if you have that one player that can really score the rock, a true number one option. But this year, the Badgers don't just have one, they have two top options, John and John. The pair have stepped into stardom this season. And high school boys hoops, it's the Badger Challenge. You know what that means. Best of the Badger large playing the best of the Badger small. Wanakee whipping it around, and it finds Caden McKenzie. He wants all three of those, and he gets them. Wanakee led for most of the first half, but the Vikings, they're always just one Josh Manchester flurry from being in the mix. One of 10 guys in the state averaging 30-plus points a game. The scorer does his thing off glass, and Mount Horeb, they'd stay close, but not close enough. The Warriors, again, putting on a clinic on how to move the ball around the floor, finding the open man once more. It's Trey Murray, nails the three, and his Warriors, they'd win it 65-54. Do you believe in miracles? It looked like it was going to be another Badger heartbreaker in the national championship game, but in the final 18 seconds, trailing by a goal, the unthinkable happened. The Badgers got gifted a penalty shot and then capitalized. Kirsten Sims with some extra sauce. Are you kidding me? The equalizer to send the title game to overtime. And in the free period, Wisconsin came up clutch again. Kirsten Sims does it again with ice in her veins. Her second career game winner in a national title game as the Badgers secure their record-breaking 8th national championship. Leading up to the Women's Hockey National Championship game, Mark Johnson told me that it's one thing to catch a fish and a whole other thing to get it into the boat. And on Sunday, his Badgers got their trophy fish. Wisconsin tied the game in the final 18 seconds and won it in overtime. And their head coach, who knows a thing or two about miracles, said that the game reminded him of when he was salmon fishing in Alaska, exhausted after 50 minutes of fighting, and he almost gave up, but then he didn't.
It's about perseverance. And so, nope, I'm going to fight this thing.
Warhawks were not messing around. They put up 7 runs on lacrosse in the first inning alone. They added 2 more in the third, which gave Jack Hagan a 9-1 lead to work with. And the freshman carried the load from there. He struck out 8 batters in an 105-pitch complete game masterpiece. But at a point, Hagan wanted some run support. Bottom of the 8th, and Matt Skolin, well, he lends a helping hand. A wall scraper gives Whitewater an 11-3 lead, which means there was only one thing left to do: finish the job. Whitewater wins its 8th WEAC tournament title in program history. Round 2 of the AmFam Championship belonged to Team Stricker. Steve and his brother-in-law, Mario Tiziani, were more than magnificent at TPC Wisconsin today. In fact, they were nearly perfect. After a shaky first round, they had their work cut out for them if they wanted to be within striking distance heading into the final round. Stricker saying Friday they would need to post a ridiculous score on Saturday, like 15 under. We picked them up on 8, where Steve Stricker sinks one of his countless long putts, this one from 25 feet out,